evening, everyone. My name is Laurie. I'm a journalist and a proud member of the OncoDaily family. I'll be co-hosting this evening with Vahe, my colleague. We're all gathered here for the centerpiece of OncoDaily's presence at the ASCO conference, the Yvonne Awards ceremony. Thank you to our exclusive sponsor, Natera, for making this ceremony and the reception possible. Welcome, and thank you all for coming.
We could have started this speech saying that OncoDaily is the largest media platform in the field. That is not untrue, but it's really not our only claim to fame. We're now also the fastest growing community in oncology and the most fun. We're happy to have you all here with us to celebrate the recipients of tonight's awards, amplifying the work that matters in the field.
The Yvonne Awards takes its name from the yew tree, one of the longest-lived species on the planet. The sculpture each awardee receives tonight is a reference to that resilience. More than 180 people from around the world were in this year's nomination committee, co-chaired by Professor Miriam Mutebi from Kenya and Professor Philip Kantoff from Boston. We're presenting awards tonight across 11 categories. But before we begin, we'll hear from Professor Gevorg Tamamian, the co-founder and editor-in-chief of OncoDaily. Please welcome him to the podium.
From here? Yeah. Thank you. Yesterday evening, I was trying to give a motivational speech for our team, but then they told me it was not motivational. I tried, but it happens. It happens. Life is not only successful moments. It's ups and downs. It's sometimes you give a nice speech, sometimes you don't. But it's the beauty of the life, these ups and downs, I think. And I want to talk about these beautiful instances shortly today. We are having a great party tonight. Up to now, when we were coming here, I asked around 700 people registered and more than 300 people accompanying, so we are expecting more than 1,000 people tonight. But I remember 4 years ago, when I said, let's make a party here, and we found a very nice backyard of a cafe, and it was really a small place. My dear friend Leo is here. He will remember. We had a barbecue, and there were chicken running around our legs, literally chicken. But it was nice. And that evening, maybe I was thinking, that was not the most successful party we could throw. But later on, when I was thinking, it was beautiful. And this chicken party, paved the way for this evening. And I'm sure it's going to be larger, more beautiful every year. And I remember also that year I was staying, I registered the last day for ASCO, and there was literally no hotel to find out, or the presidential suites. I was not able to get those. But I got a hotel next to McCormick. It's very difficult to call it hotel, because in every floor you could smell marijuana, and overnight you could get addicted, really. But it was fun. It's the life. And really 2 hours ago, before coming here, with the team our team, OncoDaily team, we were fixing the posters and the booths at the exhibition hall, literally. And then many of them, they took their tuxedos and the dresses here to change. I managed to go change at the house, but still, I love it. And this is the life. This is the beauty of the life, that most of us here, and like all of us here, work in the oncology field, and we know it very well that, I mean, in one instance, we need to go into the room and deliver good news. And like a little bit later, you do the opposite. And you feel it. You live with that moment. And it's tough, but it's the life where we chose. And it's the same with OncoDaily and our team. Whatever we do, we live there. Today I was asked by another friend, Joe. He asked me, what is OncoDaily? I mean, I said, let me tell you what it is not. It's not anymore just a media. Although I think it's the best one. I am biased, but sorry to tell you, I think it's the best one. It's not just events. It's the vibe in this room. It's the community. We try with all our heart to bring more happy moments, some more good vibes to people's lives. We open the doors to everyone, and that was the critical part when we were setting up the OncoDaily. We said it's going to be the same for everyone. It's not going to be just like having a space for like those who are excluded. That we say, oh, we have equity. No, it's going to be literally treating the same way everyone. The most famous one and the upcoming ones. Those who even don't want to be famous. But we are going to treat the same way. And we try to do that way, and I think we are doing it a nice way. Right now we are having a big party, but part of our OncoDaily family are working. Yes, and I'm proudly saying OncoDaily family because it became like a family, like a family, a growing big family, and we are happy to have you with us. And in this room, I'm with my family as well. Where is Lilia and Charlize and Letizia, my beautiful ones? Come here. Come. Come. Yes. Come. You are not? Charlize? Okay, they are shy. But next time, please bring also your families. Come with your families. We'll be more than happy to have them with us. And let's make this evening wonderful, and let's just have fun. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for being with us. Thank you to the whole OncoDaily family who made this happen. Thanks a lot for everyone. Thank you. And thank you to Lori and Vahev for making this evening even more beautiful.
Thank you, Gevorg, so much for your inspirational words. The first award we would like to present this evening is the Breakthrough Research Award. Please welcome Dr. Garo Armen, philanthropist and chairman and CEO of Agenus, a leading oncology biotech company, as well as Dr. Amalia Sarkisyan, the VP of Research and Intelligence at OncoDaily. Please give them a warm welcome.
The Yvonne Award in Breakthrough Research honors investigators whose discoveries have shifted the trajectory of cancer science, work that turns long-held assumptions into new questions and new questions into hope for patients. It recognizes the rare combination of curiosity, rigor, and persistence that allows a single line of inquiry to change a field. This year, the description fits one recipient completely.
Thank you, Amalia, and thank you very much, Gevorg, and for inviting me for this wonderful occasion. Before I recognize the very extraordinary man with fantastic accomplishments in the field of cancer, I'd like to say a few words about Gevorg and his team and OncoDaily. As my colleagues here mentioned, I go to Armenia frequently because of our philanthropy. And recently I had the pleasure of visiting the OncoDaily team. And what a remarkable team. What an energizing team of medical professionals who sit in one room, a very large room, and create the makings of OncoDaily. Now, when Gevorg told me about OncoDaily some years ago, not too long ago, I thought he would have a real difficult time competing with the big names in the industry, the biotech and the pharma racks, so to speak. And these publications cannot compete with the integrity, with the independence, and the beautiful community-generating efforts of OncoDaily. OncoDaily has done a remarkable job because of its team. Now, I'll tell you one thing. Fortunately or not, 90% of OncoDaily team happen to be females, female medical professionals like Amalia. Their knowledge of medicine and oncology is far out. Day in and day out, they create the medium for all of you to be recognized. And it's wonderful to see that because many of you I have recognized through pictures and the words of OncoDaily. And it is something very pleasurable for me personally to see that happen. But getting back to tonight. So 2026 Yvonne Award in breakthrough research goes to the way it's put here, a scientist, a medical scientist, who's made the impossible possible, who has made the unaffordable affordable. In a place like India, where, of course, affordability is a very, very big challenge. In the West, the system can afford very expensive drugs and treatments, but in India, of course, those types of pricings are impossible. This man, who is a clinical scientist at the Tata Memorial Center, he has built India's first indigenous CAR T therapy possible at a cost that is approximately 6% of the costs that Western societies, Western countries charge. That's a miracle for a patient population. And with this, over 800 patients have been treated. Can you imagine? I mean, CAR T therapy is not the most common therapy because of its difficulty to be provided, but 800 patients have had this therapy that is unaffordable being made affordable. So it is my pleasure to introduce you to Dr. Hasmukh Jain. Please come to the podium. Thank you.
I know this gets recorded, and therefore I wanted this to be correct. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank OncoDaily and also the esteemed selection committee of this Yvonne Award, and thanks for conferring this award onto me. I accept this award on behalf of a large group of people who have been dedicated and working sincerely and persisted over the last few years. This includes scientists, this includes clinicians, nurses, researchers, and the various support staff who made it possible to get this CAR T cell therapy to India. As you all know, CAR T cell therapy is one of the most important advances in the field of hematological malignancies. And in 2017, when it first got approved by US FDA, it came at a cost of about $400,000. The impact was that it could cure at least 40% of the patients for whom there was only few months to live otherwise. But at this cost, this was beyond the reach of most of our patients and in countries like where we come from. So this collaboration was actually between Engineering College, the IIT Bombay, and Tata Memorial Center. And over a decade of work, we were able to bring this therapy to India in December 23. Now, the real impact of this work has been that, as mentioned, about almost 800 patients have been treated with this therapy. Almost 300 of them have been treated at Tata Memorial Hospital alone. And I think one of the biggest achievement also is that this also sent out a message to the research ecosystem in our community that these kind of cutting edge research can also be performed. Cell therapies, globally acceptable cell therapies with robust science can also be done in India. And this has actually paved way for many more such products which are now under research. There are actually several individuals and institutes who have really contributed to this work, and I'm just standing as one representation of this whole community. And therefore, it will not be possible for me to name everyone, but there are a few people who I would really like to acknowledge. Obviously, my parents and my family, my wife, who've been the support system throughout this process. But I think the biggest would be Tata Memorial Hospital as an institute, because we have great leadership and colleagues who inspire us to do this work daily. Also, it's a beautiful coincidence that my mentor, Dr. Manju Sengar, actually received a mentorship award just a couple of hours before at ASCO. Also, like to acknowledge Dr. C.S. Pramesh, whose Credo workshop actually profoundly has shaped the trajectory of my research career, like many others here in the audience. I'd also like to thank my collaborator and the basic scientist, Dr. Rahul Purwar, whose scientific leadership and persistence ensured that we were able to stay on course and actually bring this to the patients. And finally, I dedicate this award to our patients who place their trust and faith in us every single day. Thank you, everyone.
Well, now to present the Challenging the Status Quo Award, please welcome to the stage Professor Banyu Arun from the Department of Breast Medical Oncology at the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center, and Professor Ajar Agrawal, Clinical Director of National Cancer Audits in the United Kingdom. Please welcome.
Good evening. The Yvonne Award in Challenging the Status Quo honors voices who refuse to accept oncology as it is, those whose work, advocacy, and leadership push the field toward the more equitable, more imaginative, and more patient-centered practice it must become. It celebrates the courage to ask uncomfortable questions and the discipline to turn those questions into systemic change. Our first recipient this year embodies exactly that courage. Dr. Velasquez Mañana is assistant professor at the University of California, San Francisco, and a thoracic oncologist at Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, which is the city's safety net institution. An ASCO advocacy champion and Women Who Conquer Cancer awardee, she fights to eliminate disparities and amplify voices long excluded from cancer research. For the courage to challenge inequity, we honor Dr. Ana Velasquez Mañana. Please welcome Dr. Ana Velasquez Mañana to the stage to receive the Yvonne Award for Challenging the Status Quo.
Okay, so our next honoree has reshaped the way that the world thinks about childhood cancer. It seems like a big statement, but I think it's absolutely justified when we talk about Dr. Bakhtar, Dr. Nikhil Bakhtar from St. Jude's Research Childhood Cancer Hospital. And in particular, his work is at the intersection of health economics, epidemiology, and health systems innovation. He really has made us rethink through the quantification of the childhood cancer burden, how we do our cancer plans, how we finance our health systems for dealing with childhood cancer, and also WHO strategy. And it's really actually very innovative work, which we're all using day to day. And so with that, we are delighted for Dr. Nikhil Bakhtar to come up to accept this award. Hopefully you can all see him in this bright light. I met
Please proceed to the center for the photo.
Wow, yeah, this is quite a bright light. You're right. So thank you again to the OncoDaily staff, team, the selection committee, of course, Gevorg, who is a good friend. I can't say that I had insider knowledge on this, but thank you again for all of this. First and foremost, I feel like this is the most perfect kind of like backhanded award, challenging the status quo. And I mean that in the sense that oftentimes Carlos, who is my boss, will talk about the fact that at St. Jude Global, one of our roles is to be the wind behind the sails of many of our collaborators, pushing them forward. But then he'll often say, Nikhil, however, is that hurricane that comes through and just pushes everybody forward with brute force. And I think that ultimately is what I believe in terms of sometimes we just need to actually do the work and get it done. And so really, I couldn't be more thankful for this acknowledgement on behalf of the committee and others. Obviously, I have to thank my family. The OncoDaily staff has been very kind. So the first email went to my junk box. 2 days later, I got an email that said, "Are you actually going to accept this award?" I got that while boarding a plane to Geneva as my wife was calling me, telling me that my water heater was broken down. And so suffice to say, I was a little bit nervous to tell her I had to come to ASCO 2 weeks later in order to receive this. But again, my family has really made this possible. And thanks to all of our generous collaborators who work with me. So thank you.
Thank you. So the next, the AI in Oncology Award is named by ZS, a global professional services firm and partner of OncoDaily. To present this award, please welcome Christopher Clinton Conway, a leader in biotechnology and medical research fundraising, and Pavan Kumar Ane, who leads ZS Global Oncology and Precision Medicine practices. Please welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chicago. We're thrilled to have you. And I'm very excited to be co-presenting this award this evening. The Yvonne Award in AI Oncology honors leaders who are translating artificial intelligence into clinically meaningful tools, bridging computational science and patient care to redefine what is possible in oncology. Our first honoree turned that promise into a working clinical tool. Dr. Gerg is Research Associate Professor and Group Leader of the Laboratory of Cell Stress and Immunity at KU Leuven. I hope I got that right. His lab was the first in the world to build an AI-driven signature that predicts who will respond to checkpoint immunotherapy, validated across more than 1,000 patients and now entering early phase clinical trials. His work turns immune biology into a usable clinical tool. For originality, rigor, and real-world impact, we honor Dr. Abhishek Gerg.
enable us to follow this?
All right, yeah, the light is bright, and I'm half drunk because I'm jet lagged. So, yeah, thanks a lot for this really fantastic award. It's quite a platform to be here, so I'm really glad, and I'm very thankful to OncoDaily and the jury for giving this award to me. Obviously, it takes a village to do this kind of research. So this award is, while given to me, is actually for the village, the oncologists we are working with, my lab mates, and all the collaborators who have made all that research possible. And of course, very importantly, the patients who have agreed to give the samples that allowed us to do this work. Now, I would like to share a little bit of like how that work came to happen, because this is the part which is not shared a lot. And I think that's very important sometimes, how some big discoveries can start by pure accident. So how it started was that Professor Benno Abuseling, who is a world-renowned expert in kidney cancer, was searching for a collaborator who could help him understand what was happening in his patients, in his real-world practice in the out clinic, and how he can improve their handling. And he was looking for somebody who could explain functional immunology better in patient samples. And that was opportune because when I started my lab, that was one of the things that I wanted to do most. I was trained as a functional immunologist at a time when most of the research was done in mouse, because immuno-oncology did not exist when I started off. And then we suddenly were in a phase where there was such a huge amount of patient data out there, but not necessarily always the capability to analyze it properly. So he actually came to me after being disappointed with some collaborators asking me, can I help him? And that was actually a very interesting accident that happened, because kidney cancer, for those of you who might know, is a very difficult disease to understand immune biomarkers for, compared to some of the other cancers, because it's a very odd one out in that sense. So that is how it started. And then one thing led to another. And finally, we understood that for some of the problems that we wanted to solve, it was not possible to do it with this sort of classical bioinformatics. We needed to apply AI. And that's how it actually came to be. And what is most satisfying for me right now, and which is why this award is special, is because what we did is being currently applied in clinical practice by Benoit there in hospital in Belgium. So that makes me very happy that the aim was achieved. This award finally is also very important because we are in a very exciting moment in our lab right now. We have been using all this AI, and what we learned with this AI, turning it into a platform called Retrofit. It's supposed to create next generation immunotherapy for refractory tumors using this, and I'm very proud. We have been working in a stealth mode, and we are going to come out very soon with this industrially oriented platform. We have a first product there, which is a first-in-class tri-specific antibody against refractory tumors. So if any of you might be interested, I'll be very happy to discuss that further. And last but not the least, I would like to also acknowledge my family and for putting up with my very, very bad work-life balance, which I hope to correct in the coming years. Thanks a lot.
Our second honoree for AI in oncology is someone who built data foundations that make responsible AI possible. Dr. Chung is a vice president and chief data and analytics officer, and also the associate professor of radiation oncology at MD Anderson Cancer Center. She has built enterprise-scale multimodal platforms uniting imaging, genomics, clinical and real-world data, and has shaped global standards for AI governance and data quality. For uniting innovation with integrity, we honor Dr. Caroline Chung. Please welcome Dr. Caroline Chung to the
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. This is very bright. I can't see anybody out there. But I want to thank OncoDaily, the selections committee, and everyone who's nominated me. This is really a shared award. When we think about AI, it is an exciting future. At the same time, we have to be responsible and make sure that we're thinking about doing the right, responsible, safe thing for our patients. And that also means how we're actually generating our data and really thinking about how we generate and flow our data and what that means in terms of how AI will actually function. And so if you want to learn more, it's a real privilege for me to be a champion for the AI community of practice at ASCO. We are having a meeting on Sunday afternoon, so please come join if you'd like to learn more. I've been quoted to say that it's culture, not code, that actually really is the core to any successful AI strategy and really enabling AI implementation. And so that culture comes from all of you and all of the teams that have worked with me and the communities and collaborators that have worked with me. And I want to thank all of them. This is really a shared award for us to be able to build out the capabilities as a field of oncology, which has an incredible amount of complex data, and we want to harness it in the best way we can for our patients. So I want to thank you all for this great honor. Thank you.
Congratulations to our award winners so far. For the next ones coming up, I'd like to request you to go to the center of the stage so we get the best possible photograph of you receiving your award. Thank you so much. The next one we have coming up is the Community Oncology Award. Please welcome Professor Susan Dent, a breast cancer oncologist at the Wilmot Cancer Center in the University of Rochester and past president of the International Cardio-Oncology Society, and Professor Matti Apro from Switzerland, the president of SBCC and chairman of the board of the OncoDaily Medical Journal. Please welcome them to the stage.
Oh, it is bright up here. I can't see any of you. So thank you to OncoDaily for inviting me to present this award in community oncology. I think it's really wonderful to recognize the important work that oncologists do in our community where, you know, where a lot of the care is delivered, particularly in North America. So the Yvonne Award in Community Oncology recognizes clinicians and honors leaders who deliver world-class care and where most patients actually live in the community, close to home and in partnership with people they serve. It celebrates the quiet, steady work of building durable systems of care that meet patients where they are. Our first honoree has lived that quiet, steady work life for more than 2 decades. Dr. Metzner-Sidursky is a community oncologist in South Carolina and clinical faculty for PCOM, who has spent more than 2 decades bringing advanced care to rural and underserviced regions. She also founded oncology101.org to empower patients and serves on the ASCO Health Policy Committee. For the heart of community oncology, we honor Dr. Joanna Metzner-Sidursky. Please honor Dr. Joanna Metzner-Sidursky to the stage or welcome her to receive this Community Oncology Award. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you for this incredible honor. I wanted to thank OncoDaily for being an incredible voice for oncologists and patients around the world. And I also wanted to thank them for putting this beautiful event, organizing it. I know how much hard effort goes into making something like this possible. I would like to I want to state that this award truly belongs to my patients. Being a community oncologist for more than 20 years has been both an honor and privilege. My patients have taught me compassion, humility, resilience, and purpose. I also want to give that award to my team who makes sure that I have everything I need to take care of my patients. There are some people I would like to recognize, especially tonight. One of them is Dr. Ruling Yuan, and she is somewhere here. Ruling, if you're here, please stand up. And we met 10 years ago. Since then, she has never stopped encouraging me to do more, dream bigger, and push beyond what I thought it was possible. She's a force and tireless advocate for her patients. I also want to express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Gamboch. She's also there. Jasmine, and whose support has meant more than words can capture. She has a rare gift, inspiring and challenging people to become the very best version of themselves. I want to mention Dr. Enes Eno. He's a powerful voice from ASCO community of practice. He's a young oncologist from Turkey, and I know that we will hear from him a lot soon. I also am grateful to Dr. Robinson for her support. Yes, this award has profound meaning to me because it recognizes community oncology, patient advocacy, and the importance of improving how we educate and support our patients and their families. Through this initiative, oncology101.org, we continue working towards making cancer information more accessible, understandable, and empowering for patients and families everywhere. Finally, I would like to thank my family for their love, support, and patience. Thank you for this extraordinary award. I am deeply grateful.
So good evening, everyone. Before announcing who is the next one, the second honoree for this Community Oncology Award, I would just like to thank, as many have done, OncoDaily, and especially three people. Martin Harutunian, with whom I have been working for quite a few years, and who has made fantastic steps forward, and sent me a 2-page resume of Dr. Ayuba. And I thought, oh God, I have to summarize this one? But then the ladies intervened, and the Shushan and Amalia sent me a few sentences. Very few sentences to honor someone who has done a lot. But let's keep to these few sentences, and please use our tools nowadays. Go to the websites and you will see how much is behind these few words. Dr. Ayuba leads the tele-oncology hub in Nigeria, and in that country where there are issues, as there are in many areas in this world, she has been able to get together quite a few people who have led the patient navigation and enrolled patients that are in remote areas in this country as a fantastic example for those who work in countries where the distances are enormous, the resources are little, and her example is one that OncoDaily wants to distribute to everyone here. For this work, we would like to honor her, and I would like to call Dr. Hannatu Ayube Osman to the stage to receive this award.
Good evening, friends of OncoDaily. I'm Stephanie Shahini. I work at City Cancer Challenge Foundation. And on behalf of Dr. Hanut Ayuba, I'm speaking because she could not be here today. She asked me to share her deep gratitude to the Yvonne Awards committee for recognizing the work happening in some of the hardest to reach communities in Nigeria. So here's her speech. This award does not belong to one person. To the Cancer Consciousness Initiative team, thank you for your relentless commitment to bringing cancer awareness and education to villages and towns where the word cancer is still spoken in fear. To the Teleoncology Hub team at FMC Jalingo, Shifa Lurman International Cancer Hospital Luxor, and our partner hospitals across the Northeast, thank you for staying on the calls, reviewing cases late into the night, and making sure that a patient in Kumo, Niguro, Garbashede, or Saldauna has access to the same multidisciplinary discussions as someone in Abuja and Lagos. To our trainers and the Women in the ASCO City Cancer Challenge Leadership Program for Women in Oncology, thank you for proving that women can lead, heal, and change systems even when the odds are stacked against us. I dedicate this award to our patients and survivors, to the fathers in Taraba who traveled from 6 to 10 hours for a PSA test, to the mothers in Borno who choose between transport fare and their next chemotherapy dose, to the young survivors in low-middle-income countries who face cancer disparities, not because their disease is harder to test, but because access is harder to reach. Your courage is why we wake up and keep building systems that work for you. Your stories remind us that cancer care cannot be excellent if it's not equitable. To the international community here tonight, the gaps in cancer care in underserved communities are real, but they are not unbridgeable. With partnerships, technology, trust in community, health workers, and patient navigators, we can close them. Invest with us not just in machines and medicines, but in people, the navigators, nurses, community leaders who turn medicine into healing. And to our patients and their families, we see your pain, your hope, and your resilience. This award is a promise that we will keep walking with you until no one faces cancer alone and without care. Dr. Hanato Ayuba and the entire teams we work with, thank you. May we continue working together for a world where geography is never a death sentence. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for kind words. So, the Global Oncology Award will be presented by Professor Humid El-Shamsi, CEO at Burjal Cancer Institute in United Arab Emirates, and George Kapatenakis, President of Hellenic Cancer Federation. Please welcome to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. Before I start, I cannot see anyone. So I would like to say thank you to OncoDaily for being part of our daily life. People get addicted to TikTok, Instagram. I'm addicted to OncoDaily. Every day, I check updates, news, stories. I start to connect with everyone, recognizing people. Oh, I know their stories. I know what they've done. And I'll go and greet them and say hi to them. So thank you for getting us together from around the globe as a one community. So global oncology is not an easy word. It's a very complex ecosystem when you look at the different countries, but when you look at the global oncology, it's completely different ecosystem. The Yvonne Award in Global Oncology honors those who work cross borders, clinicians, scientists, and advocates who are widening this access to cancer care and building partnership that closes the global cancer divide. It celebrates vision of oncology in which geography no longer determine outcome. This year's recipient embodies that vision, and my colleague will introduce him.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm deeply moved and I'm very honored to be here and present this award. I want to express my gratitude to my friend Gevorg for make all of us a family, OncoDaily family. And on behalf of the cancer patients, I want to thank all of you, the scientists, the future that tomorrow will be the standard. We are grateful and we thank you for what you are doing. But now, the 2026 Yvonne Award in Global Oncology goes to a leader closing the divide on two fronts at once, the operating room and the algorithm. Dr. Zafar is director of the Global Oncology Program at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, bridging surgical oncology, health systems, and AI. His NIH and Department of Defense funded work from AI-assisted nurse navigation to surgical capacity building abroad reflects more than 8,000 citations of influence. For the next wave of global oncology leaderships, we honor Dr. Syed Nabil Zafar. Please welcome Dr. Syed Nabil Zafar to the stage to receive the Yvonne Award for Global Oncology.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an honor. This award is heavy and carries much weight in both meanings of that word. So I'm very honored to receive this award. I grew up in Pakistan, and when I was undergoing medical training there, I was always running away from cancer, and cancer was never something I thought about doing or pursuing. Because it was a lot of death and dying, and cancer still in many countries is a death sentence. But when I came to America for my surgical training, and then I saw how we treat patients here, and cancer is not a death sentence. There's a lot of hope, and so many colleagues in the audience here and around the world, a lot of research and hope. And I always thought, why does the outcome depend on where you are born? And even in America, there's so many disparities. And that's what made me passionate about pursuing this mission about how to bridge this divide and creating a world where cancer outcomes can be equal. And I'm really grateful to OncoDaily for this award and recognition. I do think in this era of geopolitical environment where global health is not the sexy word anymore, organizations like OncoDaily need to step up and really lean in and really help the millions of people who are dying from a disease that they don't need to die from. I do think there's a tsunami of cancer going around, and together we can definitely make a difference. Like everyone said, this award does not belong to me alone. There's so many colleagues much more deserving than I am, even in this audience. And I think together we can make a big difference. I do want to believe in a lot of trainees that are interested in this award, and my mission is to create that capacity and nurture them. I got a lot of mentorship. Some of my mentors are in the audience, and I benefited from that a lot in how I set up my programs, and I'm able to extend myself and help. So I hope we can also build a lot of mentorship programs and train the next generation of expertise in global oncology and leaders in the field. Thank you very much. And of course, thank you to my family and kids who really have to suffer the burden of me traveling too much. And thank you for my institution that really supports that as well.
Next up, to present the Leadership Award, please welcome Her Excellency Dr. Zainab Shingafi Bagudu from Nigeria, the President-elect of the Union for Cancer Control, and Professor Luiz Araújo from the National Cancer Institute of Brazil. Please welcome them to the stage.
Thank you.
The Yvonne Awards leadership honors individuals whose vision and stewardship have shaped institutions, careers, and the direction of oncology itself. Leadership measured not by title, but the people and progress it enables. It celebrates the rare leaders who lift others as they climb and leave the field stronger than they found it. Feel and embody that better than this year's recipient, whom my colleague will now present.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here. I'd like to, first of all, congratulate the OncoDaily team. We've heard a lot about the good work that they're doing and the way they've become a part of our daily lives. So for me personally, my oncology, advocacy, support, access award of the year goes to OncoDaily. Leadership is not something that people confer on you, it is earned. And so the 2026 Leadership Award, Yvonne Award in Leadership, goes to a clinician leader who has shaped precision oncology across the entire region. Dr. Long is the clinical associate professor at the Chinese University of Hong Kong and deputy medical director of Phase 1 clinical trials at the Phase 1 Clinical Trials Center at the Prince of Wales Hospital. A leader in thoracic oncology, sarcomas, and early phase drug treatment across Asia, he has driven biomarker trials and contributed to global guidelines. For bridging cutting-edge research with patient-centered care, we honor Dr. Herbert Long.
Thank you very much. Very, very bright. Can't see anyone, which is probably good in the sense that I won't get stage fright. The other thing is, obviously, I missed a memo on dress code, so apologies. But a real honor to be able to receive this award. And certainly, I think I must admit I am relatively young to be receiving a leadership award. But at the same time, I do agree that I think being a good leader doesn't really come necessarily with chronicity or age. It's about being able to support your team. And for me to be a good leader really comes from the fact that I have a very supportive team, a group of individuals at my hospital who have been working tirelessly for the benefit of our patients. I come from Hong Kong, a relatively small place, but to be able to receive such an award amongst our international friends, many of you in the audience are my mentors. Many of them, you are leaders who I look up to, and of course, are people who I really try to emulate. At the same time, my local leaders back in Hong Kong, some of you who may know Professor Tony Mok, who obviously is a giant in cancer care around the world, has really helped shape our department and really been able to shape our community as well. We come from a relatively small hospital with a medical staff of about 50 to 60, about 200 nurses in our department, caring for about 2.5 million people within our catchment area. And certainly we're also a large referral center when it comes to clinical trials. And all the clinical work, all the research work that you see coming out from our institution is really just based from 6 research nurses and 6 research assistants. So we have a research staff of 12, and yet I think as an institution, we're quite well recognized as a global leader. And before I end, I really have to thank many individuals of you who are in the audience, the ASCO colleagues, ASCO staff. I've learned a lot of my leadership skills through my involvement with ASCO as a volunteer, and both in the scientific committees of, say, sarcoma and lung cancer, as well as volunteering work in the International Affairs Committee. And it's been a real honor to be able to work with every single one of you. And lastly, of course, I have to thank my family for being very supportive, especially knowing the fact that I do travel quite a bit and being away from home, especially my youngest son, Avery, who is born on May 31st. He is an ASCO baby, and the only birthday I've been able to spend with him was the day that he was born. So he's having his birthday on Sunday in 2 days. So happy birthday, Avery, and thank you very much for your support, and thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for honest words. And for the Pediatric Oncology Award will be presented by Dr. Shushan Hovsepian, Senior Vice President of OncoDaily and Editor-in-Chief of OncoDaily Medical Journal, and Dr. Sarah Tassian, Chief of Hematologic Malignant Program at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Please welcome to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. So, pediatric oncology category is very near dear to me. I'm a little bit biased here. And when I started my studies in pediatric oncology, I entered the ward for the first time and I said, oh no, I will never become a pediatric oncologist. And then when I finished my studies, I definitely knew where I'm going. So this is a very small world. Everyone knows each other, but also we have a lot of rare tumors. So we collaborate each other. And for me, people who are dedicating their life to pediatric oncology, they are extraordinary. And I'm not thinking about that because I'm a pediatric oncologist. But still, it's a very challenging world. And even especially people who are working in limited resources setting, they are doing an exceptional work. So this year's award goes to, please go.
So the 2026 Yvonne Award in Pediatric Oncology goes to a clinician scientist who is redefining what is possible for children with cancer, particularly in lower resource settings. Dr. Emanuela Amako is a pediatric oncologist and clinician scientist in Ghana, where she leads a shared care model that brings treatment closer to home and reduces abandonment by families. As a key contributor to the African Cancer Atlas, she leads the Compass Initiative for Early Detection and Referral. For redefining equitable pediatric care, we recognize and honor Dr. Emanuela Amako.
And before Dr. Amako starts her speech, today is also her birthday. So happy birthday to you. We wish you all the best. And please continue the work that you are doing. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, OncoDaily. This is a wonderful surprise. Thank you. I liked what you said, that you didn't want to do pediatric oncology. I think it's everyone who is doing pediatric oncology didn't think they would do it. So this award means a lot. Thank you very much. And even though it may bear my name, it belongs to those parents who did not give up on their children, those children who made us believe that we could do it more and more, the nurses who stayed long nights to make sure that their children were fine, my colleagues who did not give up on the children that we saw, my mentors for holding my hand always, and to my family for pushing me forward where I knew that there were boundaries. Thank you very much, and I hope that this makes sure that I do more in the pediatric oncology world. Thank you.
The next award we'll be presenting is the Humanitarian Award by Dr. Assem Mansour, Chief Executive Officer and Director General of the King Hussein Cancer Center in Jordan, accompanied by Professor Dilyara Kaidarova, the President of the Kazakhstan Cancer Society, who is currently running for the VP of the International Gynecologic Cancer Society. So you know what to do.
Thank you. Good evening, distinguished guests. At first, I want to thank to OncoDaily team and of course for Gevorg for invitations to be here today. And the Yvonne Award in the humanitarian category honors physicians whose service extends beyond clinical excellence into compassion under fire, caring for patients in conflict, displacement and hardship, and reminding the field of medicine's deepest purpose, in celebrating the quiet heroism of those who keep cancer care alive in places where simply continuing to practice is itself an act of courage. No one this year embodies that courage more than the colleagues. My follows presenter will now introduce
Good evening. Today at ASCO, I attended a very important session about cancer care in time of crisis and displaced population. There were 3 extraordinary presenters, but all of them were from Western institutions. And I thought what's missing there is to have somebody who have experience firsthand providing cancer care under bombardment among this distinguished group. This is why the 2026 award for humanitarian award goes to a physician who would never abandon his patient even under fire. Dr. George from Dnipro in Ukraine, who continued to provide cancer care in the basements of the hospitals to deliver chemotherapy even where there is shortage in medications. His message about that cancer will not stop by war. This is why we have to provide and continue providing cancer care even at the time of war. So please join me to welcome Dr. Mohammed Hajouj from Dnipro, Ukraine, to receive this award.
They told me to be a short speech, but I think my colleagues and friends deserve to give a little bit, few minutes. So, good evening, distinguished colleagues. I'm deeply honored and sincerely grateful to receive the Yvonne Award. This recognition means more than I can fully express. while we celebrate the progress of science, medicine, there is another reality, practicing medicine under uncertainty and in time under fire. For nearly 4 years, many physicians have continued to care of patients in the most difficult conditions. Among them are my colleagues and friends in Ukraine, whose courage and dedications truly inspire us all. Their work, often under constant threat, reflect the very essence of the world. I stand here humbled, knowing this recognition belongs equally to them. Also, my colleagues and friends in Gaza and Palestine. Although my journey has taken me across borders, my heart remains with those still in those front lines, continuing to serve strength, compassion, and dignity. Until peace return, we will continue to stand, to serve, and to care, no matter the circumstances. One of the things that helped me and be here today, knowing all of you and most of you here who contacted to support and move patients from Ukraine, who's conducted clinical trials which stopped for the last 4 years, to move to your centers, to cancer research, and you make it easy to them to continue treatments. And I can acknowledge the support from my wife, my kids through this journey, also my mentors in Ukraine. And I'm very proud today here, my mentors, she was not aware, Dr. Romilly Cruz, she joined me, and my colleagues from Simbekarian. They've been taking my hands, move forward to support these patients and colleagues abroad. Thank you for this award. It's means a lot for me and my colleagues, and I hope you have a nice celebration tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, again. To present the Mentorship Award, please welcome to the stage Professor Julie Growell, Executive President and Chief Medical Officer of American Society of Clinical Oncology, and Professor Petros Grivas, Clinical Director of the GU Cancer Program at the University of Washington. Please welcome.
Thank you. Well, Petros and I are longtime colleagues from Seattle.
Back in time.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I want to congratulate OncoDaily, and I want to congratulate every single award recipient tonight. This is really an amazing event. The Yvonne Award in Mentorship honors mentors who have demonstrated exceptional guidance and commitment, profoundly influencing the next generation of oncology professionals. It recognizes outstanding individuals who have excelled in nurturing the skills and the careers of their mentees, promoting growth and leadership within the oncology community. Our first honoree has built an entire generation of oncologists from the ground up. Dr. Bardakjian is Scientific Director of the Immune Oncology Research Institute in Armenia, where he recruits and guides young physicians until they become mentors themselves. His trainees now excel as clinicians and investigators worldwide. For building people, institutions, and the future of oncology in low and middle income countries, we honor Dr. Samvel Bardakjian.
It's an honor for me to accept this award on behalf of one of the most responsible and deserving doctors I know, my mentor, Samvel Bardakjian. He's a role model not only for me, but I'm sure that for many of young oncologists, and I would like to thank OncoDaily for giving visibility such dedicated doctors like him.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another amazing event that OncoDaily is doing. And I'll just take a second just to give a big round of applause for OncoDaily for all they are doing. I'm Petrus Grivas. I'm at Fair Hats in Seattle, and it's my distinct honor to be next to a dear friend, amazing leader in the field, a legend oncologist, Dr. Julie Grallo. So I'm glad we do this together, Julie. I'm very, very excited. And I have to say that, this award is very, special to both of us, right? We both appreciate mentorship, what it means, sponsorship, supporting, younger generations, and of course, talent and all even peers and, sometimes even mentors, right? Mentorship is a 360 approach. So we're very honored, Dr. Grallo and me, to have the second here mentorship honoree who has shaped a generation of breast oncologists and has championed women in the field. It's very important. We have a woman leader in the field of oncology here as an example. Dr. Adrienne Wax, she's a breast medical oncologist at Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and assistant professor of medicine at Harvard Medical School with a proven record of extraordinary mentorship for fellows, residents, faculty, goes across the spectrum, of course. Under her guidance, mentees have given great presentations at ASCO, of course, ESMO, San Antonio Breast Cancer Symposium, and other important meetings, and have produced high-impact journal publications, the product of really important work, and showing how important it is to teach and mentor mentees for research design, clinical trial methodologies, and presentation skills. Dr. Wax has been especially pivotal in deepening, the understanding and help her mentees with the direction and leadership and supporting the next generation of leaders in HER2-positive breast cancer. And of course, Julie, you're a leader in the field of breast cancer, so that's a special award for the next region. And, Dr. Wax's mentorship translates into real, tangible scholar impact, has important impact, I would say, globally, and helps with better patient care, patient outcomes, and also rewarding, again, mentees who take on and take us to the next level. With that, I would like to invite Dr. Adrienne Wax to receive the Yvonne Award for Mentorship. The floor is yours.
Okay, wow. Wow, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for that unbelievably kind introduction. I truly did not know to prepare an acceptance speech or the sort of incredible nature of this ceremony. So thank you so much for having me. I also missed the ball gown memo. But, I'm incredibly honored to win this award, and it is especially meaningful, of course, because, like you highlighted, of the importance of mentorship and sort of the rewards that provides us as mentors. It's really the main thing that keeps research interesting and fun is to be collaborative and be part of those mentorship dyads. So thank you so much. I'm honored to be here.
The next award will be the Voice of Oncology Award, presented by Dr. Marine Rushanyan, leader of OncoDaily Global Hubs, and Professor C.S. Pramesh, director of Tata Memorial Hospital in Mumbai. Welcome to the stage, please.
Hi, everyone. So, the Yvonne Award in Voice of Oncology honors those who carry cancer medicine beyond the clinic and into public understanding. Clinicians and communicators who turn complexity into clarity and who inform, reassure, and empower patients and their caregivers through every platform within reach. It celebrates the conviction that honest, accessible communication is itself a form of care. So, okay.
Thank you. Before I announce the recipient of this award, I'd like to congratulate and thank OncoDaily and Jawok for his leadership in creating an event which has now become an integral part of the ASCO annual meeting. And like most of us men who stand here in the stage, taking credit, Jawok would probably be the first person to acknowledge there are these amazing women who stand behind the stage working towards this. And I'd like to give a shout out to 3 people who I know who have been integral in working towards this. Sushan Hausapian, Amalia Sargassian, and Ellen Balawian. And congratulations to all 3 of you for putting all of this together. So the 2026 Yvonne Award for Voice of Oncology goes to one of the most trusted public voices in cancer care in India. And especially in this era when we are filled with misinformation, with social media offering so many alternate therapies, this is extremely important. Dr. Amol Akade is a senior consultant medical oncologist at the Fortis Hospital in Mumbai, and a trusted public voice for patients with cancer across India and increasingly across the world. Through media, lectures, and digital outreach, he has made reliable cancer information accessible while championing dignity and patient empowerment. For elevating how we talk to patients, we honor Dr. Amol Akade. May I request Dr. Akade to come over and receive his award.
Actually, Dr. Nomar, well, I'm here to receive this award on his behalf. We'll make sure to ship to him. Unfortunately, due to logistic circumstances, he couldn't be here today, but we have decided no matter what, he deserved this award for putting so many educational events and being the voice of oncology for everyone. Thanks so much. We'll make sure he receives this award.
Thanks for the honest words. And now we will recognize those who are the pillars of the oncology for lifetime achievement. To present those prestigious awards, please welcome to the stage Professor Erik van Katzen, Head of Digestive Oncology at University of Leuven in Belgium, Martha Raymond, CEO of the GI Cancers Alliance, Dr. Vivek Kavari, CEO of the American Society of the Radiation Oncology, and Professor Lynn Schucher, Director of the Tara Miller Melanoma Center at Penn Medicine. Please welcome.
Thank you so much. And as was said last, but for sure not least, and I have the privilege, first of all, again, to thank Gevorg and all the OncoDaily team for setting this up. And the Yvonne Award in a lifetime achievement honors a career devoted to oncology. And that's extremely important. Decades of clinical leadership, scientific contribution, and mentorship whose influences felt across generation of patients and colleagues. And it celebrates a life's work that has helped define modern cancer care and whose example continues to shape the field. And tonight we close our ceremony by honoring not one but such career, but 2 such careers, because there are 2 very important persons who will receive this award. And for that, I want to give the floor to Martha Raymond to introduce the awardees.
Good evening. It's my sincere pleasure to present our first Lifetime Achievement Laureate. He has given Latin America its voice in global oncology. Dr. Kazip is the founding president of the Latin American and Caribbean Society of Medical Oncology and a former president of the Union for International Cancer Control. He has strengthened cancer systems across low and middle-income countries and shaped international policy for decades. For a lifetime of global leadership, we honor Dr. Eduardo Kazip.
Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I think that I am very happy not for myself. I am happy for a group of leaders in global cancer control that started several decades ago in the 60s or in the 70s, thinking that the strategy to improve cancer curability was not only cancer diagnosis and treatment. Oncology is important, but the concept of global cancer control is more relevant because global means 8 billion of people around the world. And cancer is not only the best possible care. Cancer is also information, education, research, not only clinical research, but also epidemiological, social, implementation research, and others. Of course, proper diagnosis and treatment, survivorship, curability, morphine access. But regrettably, only 20% of the world population has access and proper diagnosis and treatment. So the way is to improve cancer control, and not only in developed parts of the world, but also in all settings and for as many people as possible. So thank you very much, OncoDaily. Thank you very much for this award, but please be proactive in improving and trying to expand cancer care and control to more people around the world. Thank you very much for this award.
Thank you. It's a privilege for me to be here tonight to give the final award of the evening, especially to a gentleman who was a stalwart at MD Anderson when I was just a resident when I started. A lifetime achievement is rarely a single triumph. It is the slow accumulation of many decisions, the training of multitudes of students, and the creation of standards that outlast the person who set them. The textbook that others teach from are often written by those who deserve this award. The trials that become the standard of care and the leaders who trace their own beginnings back to a single mentor. Our second laureate's career tonight is exactly that kind of legacy, one that did not just advance the field, but help define it. Dr. Charles Balch is a surgical oncologist and former executive vice president and CEO of ASCO, and longtime editor-in-chief of the Annals of Surgical Oncology. His work reshaped melanoma management, and his mentees now lead cancer centers worldwide. For a lifetime of service to oncology, we honor Dr. Charles Balch.
So I promise you that Eduardo Kazap and I did not coordinate our wardrobe tonight. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored with this Lifetime Achievement Award. As many have said before me, the reason we're standing on this stage is not because of what we did individually, because of the team around us that worked together for the achievements that we've had over the years and the people that we've mentored. And I think for me, as others have mentioned, my family has been major supports. And I want to give a shout out to my son, Dr. Alan Balch, who's the CEO of the Patient Advocate Foundation, which is the largest safety net organization in America. Now, in 2 months, I'm going to retire after 50 years of an oncology from MD Anderson. 50 years. And during that time, I've seen us gone from me doing radical surgery in people who ultimately failed because of advanced disease to participating in the advances of immunotherapy, chemotherapy, and now neoadjuvant therapy. And I've seen now that the primary treatment for cancer is systemic therapy first because of our advances in this in patients with advanced or locally advanced and metastatic disease. We're making great progress in saving lives, in extending lives. But ladies and gentlemen, it's very expensive. And there are millions of people around the world who have no access to that or who can't afford it. So in the next phase of my life, I've started as president of the International Society of Oncology Prevention and Treatment because 50% of cancers in the world, that's 20 million people a year, can have their disease prevented or diagnosed at an earlier stage and be cured, 50%. We need to do more in advancing that alongside our advances in metastatic disease. And I'm honored that people in this room, Eduardo Kazap is our vice president, Gregor is one of our counselors, Hamish Ghazali from Cairo, C.S. Premish from India, 63 of us leaders in the world from 40 countries are working together in this organization to advance the field of prevention and early detection, risk-based care. Because I've been tired of treating people with advanced disease who are dying, and we really need to get to people who are at risk for cancer and intercept their natural history so that they have the opportunity, understanding their risk, so that they will not develop cancer or be into screening programs for early detection. What we're seeing now is a advance an epidemic in people in younger age. Many of the people I consult with now with advanced cancer in their 20s, 30s, and 40s, their doctors say you're too young to have cancer, so we're not going to pursue it until they get advanced in symptomatic disease. So we need to advance into risk-based screening, risk-based prevention intervention, and the understanding of each of our patients and their families, and ultimately the general public for what the risk is. So I hope you will join those of us who are doing this and continue to advance in our application of knowledge we have today to prevent cancer or to diagnose it early in those individuals at high risk so that we can save lives, maximize their productivity. These are moms and dads who, if their lives aren't saved, their children will be orphans. And we need to go past the survival and understand this is our workforce, these are our parents, and we need to do more to understand who out there is at risk for cancer and engage them to prevent it or to enter into risk-based screening so that we may be able to diagnose it in early disease and cure them. That's especially true outside of the United States, Europe, and other countries. In many countries, they can't afford the care that we have today, and they need to
engage in prevention and screening, or the gap between the haves and have-nots will get larger. So we are all committed to entering into a greater emphasis in prevention and screening, and we hope that you will join us. Thank you for this honor of this Lifetime Achievement Award, but now I'm just starting in a new phase of my life with all of these colleagues and with the team to prevent cancer or to detect it at an early curable stage. Thank you so much.
I know we're all gearing up for the party ahead, but I just have one more thing on the agenda, so bear with me. Last year, Professor Bishal Gyawali received an Yvonne Award, and recently he also was promoted to full professor, and I just want to take the moment to congratulate him on that promotion. He has, well, yes, we can give him a round of applause. He has a very special announcement to share with us this evening. Basically, one partnership led to the other, and we're thrilled to share that 2 additional fellowship slots have opened at the BG Lab, made possible through the generous support of Agenis. So I'd like to invite Professor Gyawali to the stage, alongside Dr. Ellen Baloyan, Managing Editor of OncoDaily and Director of the Boston Institute of Global Rankings. Please come to the stage.
Thank you very much for giving me the award last year and for inviting me back to the stage this year. And as was announced, my research lab, we call it BG Lab, it works on the intersection of global oncology and cancer policy, the 2 themes that are at heart of what OncoDaily does. And, we realize that there are many trainees and young oncologists all over the world who want to get more training in these disciplines, but in-person fellowship is not always feasible. So we started a virtual fellowship in what we call the Cancer Ground Cert philosophy, the philosophy of Cancer Ground Cert. And when I spoke with Georg about this, he was immediately, his first response was, this is what OncoDaily does. So we want to support this. So I'm very grateful to Georg, especially, but also to the whole OncoDaily family for sponsorship of this fellowship at our lab. And even more exciting is who our first such BG Lab OncoDaily partnership fellowship in Cancer Grounds it is. And that fellow is none other than Dr. Ellen Baloyan, who is the editor of OncoDaily. And it's a special privilege for me to call someone like Ellen a fellow, because I think I'm going to learn more from her than she's going to learn from me. And that is what true mentorship is, I believe, that the mentor learns as much as the mentee does. But I have to share a very funny incident. We were applying for a fellowship for Ellen in a different forum. And for the first time, I got a notification that, the application to have Ellen as that funding fellow was rejected because of her age. And usually that means someone is older and someone is no longer in that category of getting that funding. But in her case, she was too young. So she did not qualify for the award because she was too young. That means she's so accomplished at such a young age that her CV is far better than what I have seen of other people. But because of her age, she was not qualified to get the award. So it's a big privilege and honor. And thank you for OncoDaily to making this happen. I'm very glad to invite her as my first BG Lab OncoDaily sponsored virtual fellow in Cancer Ground Cert. But as was mentioned, we also have a couple more fellows that was sponsored by Agenis, and we are very thankful to them. And one of them is, in fact, and this speaks about the relationship of networking in global oncology.
Dr. Saida Mina. She is also here with us. And Mina, I think you should also come to the stage. And she is my first virtual fellow. And she was the one who was recommended by none other than Professor Julie Grelo. So, Julie introduced me to Dr. Mina, and she recommended that she is someone who would benefit from our mentorship, and that's how this all started. So I'm very pleased to have them both here today. And we have one more fellow, Dr. Javi Benitez Fuentes, is from Spain, so he cannot be here. But thank you for the sponsorship. Thank you.
We were joking about that. Dr. Bouchard was like, "What should I give you? Do you get a statue?" And I said, "Give me a handshake, that's enough." He's been too kind with all of these words. I blushed. I think I was supposed to come to the stage later on, so blush with me, Mina, please. Only thing I can say is that OncoDaily, we're trying to make a meaningful change, and whatever we put online, we're trying to make impact with it. And I am sure that this fellowship is only going to elevate that work, not just my personal career, but also with OncoDaily. And so far, I mean, I've learned way too much, so it's probably not going to be true that you're going to learn more from me. I just want to say that OncoDaily really is a family, and what everybody said coming to the stage, and you're the part of the family too. And I want to say hi to the OncoDaily family back at home. We're not here at this stage and at this room, but they're working way too hard to deliver what's happening to the online audience. Mina?
Well, thank you for inviting me on stage as well. I think just, as Ellen just mentioned, OncoDaily and the BG Lab is just a wonderful way of connecting with the like-minded people. That's what sponsors are for, mentors are for. So I'm just very grateful that we're able to make a virtual platform out of it so we all like-minded people can connect weekly basis. So thank you again.
Can't let the mic drop too soon. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone who's been recognized this evening. I mean, this is such a field. There's years of work that go into it, and it can often be a very thankless job. So to everyone recognized for their achievements, congratulations. To every nominator, member of the selection committee, supporter, presenter who gave their time tonight, to the staff at Park West, the recording team, DJs, video team, the OncoDaily team who worked tirelessly to put this all together. Let's give them all another round of applause.
Let's also thank our exclusive sponsor, Natera. Without their support, we would not be here. On behalf of OncoDaily and the entire team behind this evening, we're glad you're here. Now I would like to welcome someone who needs no introduction. We're honored to have Professor Yelena Janjigian here with us, co-chair of the organizing committee of OncoDaily Party. Please welcome.
Thank you. And it's such a great feeling to have Janjigian pronounced properly. It takes an Armenian to do it. And welcome all. I will keep it very brief. I know I'm standing between you and a lot of dancing and great food. But many of you are already friends. And if we're not yet friends, please come and introduce yourself. And I want to be friends with you. OncoDaily makes it so easy for us to connect and to stay connected in this world that is becoming increasingly large, but also very, very small. And so I thank Georg, and Amalia and I were talking, and 3 years ago, it was only 3 years ago that this whole amazing idea started as a discussion among three friends and a handful of volunteers that made this whole big community, brought it together. I hear it from colleagues and trainees. As earlier, one of the awardees said, they're completely addicted to OncoDaily. They look at the emails, they get a lot of interesting ideas and information. There is a responsibility now to continue this forward and to make an impact in ways that never we thought was possible. So the concept of OncoDaily, what it is for you and others, is continued flux and evolving, and that's why I love being a part of it. So let's party, let's continue to get to know each other, and thank you. Have a great night.
So let's get this party started. Everyone except for the people who received awards tonight, I'd like to invite you to the stage for a group photograph. Thank you so much.